Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us today for our webinar, Get Holiday Ready with Events. My name is Jill, and I am at Vertical Response. And today joining us is Joe Fazio from GiveZooks, and he's going to be presenting with me. Joe is a 20-year veteran of the computer software industry. He has held several senior level positions in the software industry and has co-founded 2 different software companies. Joe is currently a co-founder at GiveZooks, where he is responsible for product strategy. So thanks for joining us today, Joe.
Thank you for having me.
Just a couple of things before we jump into the webinar. First of all, the webinar will be about 40 to 45 minutes long. At the end, there will be time for Q&A. So if you do think of questions along the way, go ahead and put those into the box that you see in that GoToWebinar window, and we'll be happy to answer as many of those questions as we can at the end of the webinar. One of the questions we get a lot is this being recorded? And the answer is yes, we are recording this webinar. So you'll be able to access this on our resources page on the Vertical Response website, and there is a slide in the deck that has info on how to get there. But basically, you just go to Vertical Response and click on Resources, and the recorded webinars are there. So you'll be able to access this information later if you want to go and refresh your memories. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first of all, what we're going to talk about today, we're going to go over what events are, why you should have an event, in case you have been thinking about doing it, but you're not sure how effective it'll be. I have some information for you about that and some stats. We have some examples of event pages from the Vertical Response event tool. We also will be doing a demo. Joe will be doing a demo for us. And we'll also talk about using social media and events as well. So at the end, we also will have time for Q&A. So with that, let's go ahead and get into what are events. So our events tool, the Vertical Response Events tool, makes it really easy for you to create an event page and publish it online. There's basically a template. You fill in the information about your event, and once you publish it, people will be able to access it, and you can share that in various ways. You can use an email invitation to send out to your mailing list through your Vertical Response account. You can also use that to send out reminders in case people haven't signed up for your event yet. So during the process of leading up to your event, you can use emails to get people to sign up. And just like any email sent out through your VR account, you will have reporting available. Using the events tool, you can use your Facebook and Twitter accounts to promote your event. And we have a built-in program that you can add into your Facebook page. It creates a tab, and people can find events there. We'll talk a little bit about that later. You can also get sponsorships, and we have some examples for that. If you have an event that you have sponsors, you can easily recognize them with the event tool. And people purchasing tickets get special emails, and there's a dashboard that helps you track what's going on with your event, how many people have signed up, what the sales are, how many tickets you've sold, things like that. There's a lot of information that you can get from the event dashboard. So why should you hold an event? There's a number of reasons, and they can be pretty beneficial having an event for your business. I think most people are looking to gain new leads or new customers for their business, and an event is a great way to do that. And one of the things that really helps with this is that you'll be doing marketing for your event, and that'll get your name out in the world and locally and finding some new potential customers. And then you can also find some built-in interest and people who are interested in the sort of services that you offer at your business or the type of things that you're selling at your business. So generally, if somebody is coming to an event, they have some kind of a specific interest in what it is that you offer. Whatever product or service you have, they have a specific interest. And if you're charging a fee, you have more people who will be even more interested in what you're offering. Interestingly enough, charging a fee for an event doesn't necessarily deter people, and a lot of times people find more value in you charging for an event, even if it's just a moderate fee. For having to pay to attend it, a lot of people will find more value in that than thinking, oh, $25 is too much to go to this. So it makes it a little more exclusive if they have to pay. And then also, since people are attending your event, it's something that they're doing by their own choice, and they're there to listen to what you have to say about your products, about your service, whatever your event is about. And they'll be a lot more interested in what you're offering. You won't have to sell quite as much as maybe you normally would have to if you were just doing like cold calling or something. It also gives you the ability to interact with customers one-on-one, which is one of the great things about doing an event, is being able to talk to current customers in person. A lot of times you don't get to do that, or meet new customers or new potential customers in person. And meeting the person behind the business a lot of times can really influence people as well. People like to know who's running an organization or a company that they work at or they're going to work with. So there's a lot of reasons that you could hold an event, and there's a lot of different types of events, especially this time of year. And we're going to talk a little bit about that when we look at some of the examples a little bit later. But this time of year, there's a lot of different types of events. There's holiday parties, there's fundraisers, there's all kinds of things you could be doing. There's maybe holiday concerts. So there's different things that you can be doing with events, and you can even have like a trade show or something like that. Now, one of the things you might be wondering is how effective are events, and this is some interesting stats that I pulled from Televerde and Tell All Marketing. And they asked some marketers some questions about how effective they think events are for getting new leads. And the left side is quantity, and you'll notice in-person events is the second highest uh, lead generator for generating leads for these marketers that were questioned, and notice emails were number one. And for quality of leads, in-person events was also the second biggest one that they said worked for them. So you'll notice that there's a lot of things here that you can also get from your VR account. Email campaigns, webinars, when they work, are great ways also to get not only quantity, so a lot of people interested in your business, but also people who are going to be genuine customers afterwards, so the quality leads as well. From another survey from EMI Mosaic Event Track, they said that 58% of the people who went to an event at some point purchased from the product or service from the event that they attended, which is pretty high. And 86% of those people said that they became a regular customer after they had attended an event. So it also can be a great way for you not only to generate leads, but to generate new customers for your business as well. And then at the bottom, there's just a little info. 57% of the women who responded to the survey said that they would purchase or they had purchased again after their first purchase, and 47% of the males. But still, that's pretty close to 50% of the people attending made at least two purchases. So they made another one after the first one. So events can be a great way to pull in people who are very interested in what it is that you're doing. And as I said, there are some examples. So these are some events that people have created through the Vertical Response Event Marketing tool. And Joe is going to do a demo in just a couple minutes, but just a couple things that you want to take a look at here is you get to set up what it's going to look like. You can have your logo. You can include the information about where the event is going to take place. And you get to set up the information about the tickets. And the thing that's being pointed out here in this screenshot is the information you set up about the tickets is what the people looking at the page are going to see. So the more information you include about what will be part of the purchase price or the donation price is going to help determine if people are going to want to purchase that or not. So you want to make sure you're filling in lots of info in there. So I love that they fill out a lot of information on this particular one, and they talk about what you get if you're a bronze sponsor. You can see how much it costs. They also have the option on here, if you're not an attendee, you can make a donation, and they just kind of set that up. This is another screenshot of the same event. I just can't take them all at one and have it fit in here. Um, they had lots of sponsors for this event that they were doing. And you can see here, these are all the sponsors um, or a lot of the sponsors, I don't know if this was all of them, for their event. And there's different levels that you can put in when you're adding the logos for a sponsor. And so the bigger ones are higher donors, and then they get smaller for less. But you can have your sponsors recognized in this way. It's right on the page. Anyone signing up is going to see who the sponsors are, so they'll see all of this, which is great for the people who are actually giving money for your event. If you're a business and you're hosting an event that has a cause attached, maybe part of your event is to raise money for a specific charity, you can mention that, and that's what we're seeing here. So you can use the causes feature, and you can add the logo for whatever charity or cause you're raising money for or donating some money to, just by adding it into this section here. And when you're creating your event, you have this as an option as well. You'll see that where you can add the information in there, or not if you don't have it. But it's kind of a nice thing, since a lot of companies do help sponsor charities, and you're not necessarily a nonprofit, but you might be using an event to help a local charity, and this gives you a way to call that out. And this one, again, has some great options on here for different tickets and the different things that you can get for the different level of tickets. This is kind of a fun event, and it has a gingerbread building house contest. And there's different levels, so if you're a professional or if you're not a professional, based on your age. So it's kind of a fun thing. And you can also see all the different price levels there. The other thing, if you look on the right-hand side, is when you're creating your event page, you have options for what you want to include. So on the right-hand side, you can see there's a video. So you can include a video, or you can include pictures, and you can even do a slideshow of pictures, so that when people are on your event page, they can see all of this information, or they can see the different images going by to help encourage them to sign up. And then the event detail section on the left gives you the option of adding images in there as well to help encourage people to sign up again. And then this one also shows the different types of price levels. The other thing that I really like on this one is up at the top, they did limit the number of tickets that are available, and you can do that with your event page. So once you've created it, or once you've created your ticket, you can say how long tickets are available at that price. You can do early bird pricing if you want to, or you can just put a limit of how many tickets are available at that price point. And so as time goes on, those tickets become scarce and then sell out, and then you have to move into the next tier. So I kind of like how they set that up on here. Plus, you can see again the information. The more information you have on what you get with the tickets, the more likely people are to sign up for that. So just make sure you're filling in the information that people need to be able to make a good decision on purchasing a ticket. This one is unlike some of the other ones that we were just looking at, which were some fundraising events. This one is a summit, and so they had people come to their event that they were holding. Their tickets were free. You'll notice at the top you just need to register, but the tickets were free. They weren't selling them. Two of the things I'd like to point out on the right side, excuse me, is you do have the option. If you look in the bottom right-hand side, I had to kind of hide it, but you actually can list the number of people who are, or the people who are going to be at the event. Now, you may not want to do this for every event, but if you're doing, I think one of the things that people do a lot, if you're part of an alumni group and you're having an event, then people can see who's coming, and people like to know who's going to be showing up at the event, and that can help encourage other people to come. But it would just depend on how well the people who are coming to your event would know each other if you want to show that or not. But it's an option if you want to show the guest list. So that can be kind of fun. Just above that is a picture, and I have an arrow pointing there, which isn't doing a whole lot, but if I hit a button, you can see that you can set up a slideshow, which I think is kind of a fun thing to do as well, and people will get an idea of what the event is going to entail. If there's different sponsors, you can even put pictures of that. If this is a yearly event, you can have pictures of people having a great time last year at the event. So it just goes through the slideshow like that. Or you can add a video there. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to reach out to the people who are um, potentially coming to your event to help encourage them. So how important is social media to your events? It is pretty important, actually. Um, Most people these days have at least one social media account that they use a lot. Most people have a Facebook account. There's over 1 billion Facebook accounts in the world these days. Excuse me. And so being able to advertise your event on social media can really help bring in interest and new people coming to your event. I have a little stat. 60% of people who are on social media, 60% of people who sign up for an event will share that after they have registered for an event. And one of the reasons that they would do that is because they want their friends to go to the event that they're going to as well. So that can help get more people registered for your event just by having it available on your Facebook or Twitter feed. And then more people can share it once they've signed up as well. And using the event tool gives you the the person signing up, the ability to share on their own social network that they're attending. There's a little button they can push, and that can add it to their Facebook or Twitter feed. One Facebook share can generate $2.52 in future sales and 11 page views. Just one Facebook share gives you 11 page views. That's great. That can get a lot more people coming to your event or signing up for your event. So let's go ahead and take a look at some social media tips here. So you want to make sure once you've created your event that you're sharing it on your own social networks. That gives the people who are already following you the ability to see that information and to see when your event is. Plus, if they comment or like, that shows up in their own feed and other people get to see it. It's free to do that, so it's certainly something that you really should be doing. Like I said earlier, we have a Facebook event tool. Just a couple steps. It'll set it up on your Facebook page, and it puts it in those little tabs that have now kind of moved down the page a bit from where just under your big image on the new timeline layout. And people can see events. They can click on it and can see whatever events you have coming up, and it just automatically goes there. They can see the information, they can see the tickets, and make a purchase right there. You also want to have information about your event in general that you're posting on social media. So if you have sponsors, certainly mention them. If there's going to be special guests, if you have like a keynote for your event, if you're having a special band that's playing, whatever's going on with your event, anything of interest, go ahead and tweet that or put it on Facebook just to get people's interest going for that. And also share photos, just like you can set up on your event page photos for events maybe that you've done in the past or things that might occur at the event that's coming up. Share that on social media as well. Again, it gets people's attention, and photos definitely help get people to come to your page because they tend to show up at the top of people's feeds more often in Facebook than if you just have a plain text post on there. If you're tweeting, make sure you create a hashtag for your event. Just check and see if it exists already. If not, go ahead and set one up. And then start tweeting about your event using that hashtag so that your followers know it's there and they can start using it as well. And also include that on any of the marketing that you're doing so that people know you have a hashtag for your event and they can use that. Also, any other social media that you're using, if you're using Foursquare, allow people to check into your event using Foursquare. That's always really fun. Again, if you have a blog, definitely post on your blog. Pinterest. Pinterest is a great social media network, and there's tons of people on there now, and it's such a visual thing. So you can easily set up a board for on your Pinterest account for your event and have pictures on there that people can take a look at and click through to be able to sign up for your event. So this is an example of, again, another event. And you can see you can purchase a ticket or you can purchase a table for 10, and you can see the price there, and you can also donate if you wish to this one. And this organization also is using our social media tool. And so on their Facebook page, this is what it looks like when you click on the tab. So it says social events, and then again, you can see it looks a lot like the event page. You can see you can purchase your tickets here. You can do some donations if you want to. You can do it all through the Facebook page here. So that makes it really easy for people following you on Facebook to be able to access the information about the event. This is another example. I thought this was really fun. It's a urban dentistry. And actually, this was a special event that they were doing, or are doing. I guess it's the Saturday. For the holidays, it's kind of to get your teeth ready for the holidays, and it's pretty inexpensive. You can pick any kind of reservation time there. I like how they set that up, that there's every 30 minutes a reservation available. And they marketed it really nicely as a thing to get ready for the holidays. So it wasn't really a holiday party, but it's to help people get ready for the holidays. And they have all these different things that are available here. And this, again, is on their Facebook page. So you could do all of this through Facebook. And now I'm going to hope my buttons all work, and I'm going.
Well, great. Well, I'll spend about maybe 7 to 10 minutes just taking you guys through the VR events and just kind of showing you how it works on the back end. I would imagine most of you on the webinar are actually VR customers already, so you're probably very familiar with this screen. So when you log into your vertical response account, this is what you're going to see. And you may or may not have noticed there's a new option now on your menu bar called Events, and there's also another option over here called Create an Event. You can click either of those. So for instance, if I click Events, what will happen is the first time that I click this, it's going to actually ask you to sign up for events. But once you've signed up for events, it's going to take you straight to your vertical response event marketing dashboard. And on your dashboard, you're going to see a list of all of your upcoming events, you know, when it is and how many people have signed up so far, et cetera. You'll see a quick list of the last 5 or so people that have bought tickets to your event. And then you'll have some other options over here on the left on the menu. One of the things I wanted to point out is when you're setting up your vertical response event marketing account, one of the things you're going to want to set up is a connection to your PayPal account. When people pay you for tickets, the money will end up in your PayPal account, so you need a PayPal account in order to sell tickets. And all we need in order to hook up to your PayPal account is the email address that's associated with your PayPal account. So it's quick and easy to hook this up so that you can start to receive money for your ticket sales. Let's go in, and I've got an event coming up here, and let's say we've got this, let's say my business is Joe's Wine Shop, and we're going to have an after-hours wine tasting and party. So let me click on that event, which I've set up previously. And when I look at this event, it'll take me to a dashboard for this event. And as Jill already mentioned, gives some quick stats about the event, you know, how many ticket sales have we had so far and how many people are coming, et cetera. It'll tell me how many of each ticket I've sold. And then if I want to go and actually edit my event page, and Jill showed you a lot of examples of what those event pages look like, I can click that icon that I clicked, and it'll take me in to actually edit my event. And we've made it really simple to edit your event page. You don't need to be a web guru, no HTML or anything. basically to edit your event page, all you need to do is highlight a section, for instance, this section here, and click it, and then you just fill out the information. In this case, where's your event, when is your event, etc. The ticket section here, and again, Jill showed you a lot of great examples of how you can use this ticket section. In this case, maybe we have it's free for our wine club members, but it's the non-wine club members have to pay $25. If I want to edit those tickets, I just click on this section. I can add new tickets. Maybe I want to add a VIP ticket. So I could do a VIP ticket, and maybe that's $100. But maybe this includes a special, half case of wine or whatever. And on this, you can do a lot when you set up tickets. You can make them only available for a certain time. You can set a limit. Maybe you only want to sell 10 VIP tickets. You can set it up so that people can only buy up to a certain number of tickets. So you have a lot of flexibility on setting up tickets for your event. You'll see once I add this ticket now, I've got this new VIP ticket. It's going to show up on my page, and now people are able to buy that ticket as well. Jill mentioned too that if your event is going to benefit a cause, you can highlight that here in this section. So let's say in this case, the recent storms in the East Coast have been a big concern. So maybe a portion of your proceeds are going to go to American Red Cross and Direct Relief to help everybody in the East Coast. In this case, you can even set it up so that if you want, you can actually allow ticket buyers to add a donation in addition to their purchase. So in this case, you could set it up so when they're checking out, it could say, hey, do you want to also add a donation to the Red Cross, which is kind of cool. Over here, you can configure, as Jill said, YouTube videos, single pictures, slideshows. Here, if you choose, you can display a guest list of everybody that's coming. You can turn that off if you want. This section, basically, if I click it, gives you a Microsoft Word style editor where you can put whatever you want in the body of your event here, including pictures. And then down here, again, as Jill highlighted, you can highlight your sponsors that are sponsoring the event. In this case, it's a wine tasting, so maybe there's a couple of wineries that are going to be pouring wine, so you want to highlight them. The other thing, too, is you'll see we've got kind of this funky background here. We have lots of templates, so you can change your templates and your colors, and you can scroll through, and maybe you want to make this a little more fall looking, so you pick a fall template, and it'll apply that template to your event very simply, as you'll see here in a second. So you see that kind of changed the whole look and feel of the event. Couple more things I want to point out when we go to our dashboard again. Again, this is kind of command central for your event. We looked at event setup. That's where you actually set up your event. We looked at the design themes. That's where you apply the different colors and backgrounds. You can set up the receipts that people get. So as soon as somebody buys a ticket to your event, they'll get an immediate email that says, thank you so much for your purchase. We're looking forward to seeing you. And it'll also have a detailed list of what they bought, et cetera. And those receipts are completely configurable. You can also set up custom questions. So when guests check out, you can actually set up specific questions to ask the guests, such as, do you want fish or chicken, or what's your golf handicap? So you can actually set up any number of questions to ask your guests. You can also, if people don't want to register online and they just bring you a check, you can actually record those transactions as well. So there's a way to enter those. The other thing that I'll point out here too is we make it really simple to send invitations for your event. So if I click invitations here and I want to create a new invitation to my event, what you're going to see is it takes all the information that I've already put into my event and it constructs the invitation for us. So you have control over what this invitation looks like. You can turn sections on and off, but we make it really simple for you to quickly create this invitation. You put a subject in, you pick a mailing list that you already have set up in vertical response, and you click send. So we make that really simple for you. Lots of widgets and links, so we make it easy for you to get buttons and links and embed this on your website. And also, probably most important, as Jill pointed out, we let you also sell tickets on your Facebook page. I've previously set this up on my Facebook page. So here's Joe's Wine Shop Facebook page. And you'll notice here that right here, here's a link to our party. And if I click that, it takes me to essentially a tab on my Facebook page where people can actually buy tickets right from my Facebook page as well. What's kind of cool about this is that it grabs all the information I've already set up. It grabs my sponsors as well. So all of that information that I've previously put in, I don't have to do any of that again. It's all just right here. And then transactions, this will give you a complete list of everybody that's made a purchase from you, and we make it real simple for you to go in and report on this, export the information into Excel, and then also for your attendees as well. And you'll see a complete attendee list, and you'll be able to export all of that information out very simply as well. I want to show you one last thing, which I had mentioned before, is that when you actually get people coming to your event to purchase tickets, this is what they'll see. And when they actually come in and say, hey, I want 2 of these $25 tickets and check out, I had previously mentioned that one of the things that we do, if you choose to do this, is that you can also prompt them for a donation to your cause as well that you're benefiting. So somebody could say, yeah, of course, I'll give $50 to the Red Cross and Direct Relief. I click OK, and then it'll actually just add that to my purchase. And you'll see here that I'm buying 2 tickets for $25, and I'm also making an additional donation. And then they can go ahead and check out. So that was a really quick demo, and you know, we're happy to answer any questions that you have. But hopefully, I kind of gave you an idea what this looks like behind the
a
scenes.
slide that's a little hard
So with
to
that, I'm
read.
going to
There's
turn
a
it
lot of
back
stuff
over to
going on,
Jill.
but what it really is telling you is that you want to sit down before your event and plan out how you're going to communicate the information to your followers, to your customers, to your volunteers if you're organizing something where you need people to help you out. So you need to start getting information out there early, especially if you're going to be using social media. Let people know 2 months in advance. Start sending out emails to people to let them know that they should save the date. If you're looking for sponsors, you're also going to want to start doing that fairly early so that you can get the number that you need. And so this slide, which, like I said, this is being recorded, so you can always come back and take a look at that. This slide is kind of giving you an idea of when you should start doing this. So 2 months before your event, send an email to your sponsors. Send out a save the date email. And start tweeting and posting it on your Facebook page just to let people know. 1 month in advance, send out invites. Put the information on your Facebook page so that people can sign up for your event. Send out your email, include a blog post if you have a blog. You want to include that type of information. Start tweeting a little bit more about your event and posting on a little more regular basis. You can send reminder emails. And also, don't forget on the day of the event, you can still tweet and remind people if they can still come. And also, don't forget after your event, send out thank you emails, send out tweets or posts on Facebook thanking people for attending. Maybe you want to post a couple pictures of people having a great time at the event and saying thanks for coming, just so that those who came are acknowledged. They'll love that. And people who are looking to come to one of your events will be encouraged to do so in the future. So like I said, this will be up. You can take a look at this later if you need to have a little more information about that. Pricing. It is free to create your event, but in order to start using it, you do need to have a subscription. It's a flat rate based on the number of events that you plan to do per month. So that's all you have to do is pay that one flat fee. It isn't going to be based on the number of tickets that you're selling or anything like that. It's the number of events. And then all of the transactions that are done through your Facebook page or through the event page are all done through PayPal, as Joe said earlier. So you do need a PayPal account. And PayPal may charge fees for processing your credit cards. So that would be in addition to your flat rate. but the money does go directly to you if you're using your PayPal account, which makes it a lot easier for you to collect, especially if you're collecting for an organization or something like that. Some benefits of doing events and using our event tool. It's a lot easier to get more people to come to your event and to sell some tickets by promoting it online. And using social media, as I said, is a great way to do that. You have lots of followers, and they'll be interested to see this and even to share. Even if they're not able to come themselves, they might encourage other people to. If you're looking for sponsorships, it's also a great way to recognize your sponsors because it'll be on that event page and people will see them, and that will encourage more sponsors, as well as being able to see the information on your Facebook page. It's a lot easier for you for managing everything. We have it all set up for you. You can easily manage the people who are coming, see how many tickets you've sold, so that you can manage what's going to happen on the day of the event. And you can eliminate direct mail if you want to, because you can do it all online and all through email. So as I said, there were some resources available. Our help site has instructional videos and text tutorials to help you with using our event tool, and that's the top link there. Our blog has lots of information. We blog a lot, and that is usually 3 to 4 times a week. So there's information on events as well as marketing in general, even social media marketing if you need some tips for marketing your event. And that's all free, blog.verticalresponse.com. I also mentioned that this recording will be up on our resources page. That's the URL there. It says guides, but it's verticalresponse.com marketing resources. The easiest thing to do, just go to our website, Vertical Response, click on the tab that says resources, and that takes you to where we have our guides and our recorded webinars. And we have 2 guides that are up there right now. Event Marketing for Your Business and Events 101, Attending, Sponsoring, and Hosting Events. If you need some behind-the-scenes tips on that, we have that available. And the guides are free, so go ahead and take a look at those. And this recorded webinar will be up there next week. And in the middle of our resources slide is Small Business Saturday. If you're having some kind of event for that, you can sorry, get started on setting that up. We have set up a special page for Small Business Saturday, and if you go there, the URL is on there. You will get some more information about Small Business Saturday, as well as lots of tips. We have guides to help you encourage people to come to your business on that day. This is something that's sponsored by American Express, and it's becoming very popular. They've been doing it for a few years now. So this is something you could have an in-store event for, and then you can invite people to that as well using your event